What's up, weirdo? Shadetree Surgeon here, and let me start off by saying today is a good day. Well, a good day to be a consumer anyway, and a bad day for any motorcycle company trying to sell us one of these warmed over street bikes with knobbies on it and calling it a Scrambler. Just because you can put a kitten in the oven, don't make it a biscuit, alright? And just because you can slap high pipes and a number plate on any old motorcycle, don't make it a dirt bike. I don't care how many bullshit Instagram-friendly hipster-ass commercials you watch or how many Bell Moto 3 helmets you buy. When you slip on those vintage Alpine Star high points that cost you a week's pay on eBay and point your factory vintage Scrambler towards the wilderness, you're still just on a street bike. You're just playing dress up. And yeah, man, there's nothing stopping you from taking your street bike off-road. Knock yourself out. But it's a whole lot like pushing rope on your old lady after a 3-day bender. Sure, your heart's in the right place, but no matter how much you grunt, sweat, and thrust, you're not gonna get very far. But there's a new sheriff in town, and it's about to change everything. The harsh, unforgiving light of truth is about to shine upon all the faux scramblers and send them scurrying for the corners like the cockroaches they are. These matchstick kingdoms will be swept away in the flood, and the false idols cast into the outer darkness, weeping and gnashing their teeth. And who to bring about this reckoning than one steeped in sin itself? A son steps forth to atone for the sins of the father, as Triumph brings us the all-new 2019 Scrambler 1200. A Scrambler that can actually scramble. It's about goddamn time. Finally, in 2019, we are getting a classically styled motorcycle that is actually off-road capable. And before everybody cries, what about the Ducati Desert Sled? Yes, I'm aware of the Ducati Desert Sled, and I'm looking forward to the inevitable shootout between the Scrambler 1200 and the Ducati Desert Sled. But my prediction right now is that the sled is going to be nowhere near in the same league as the new Scrambler. I digress though. I'm not here to talk about the sled. I'm here to talk about the 2019 Scrambler 1200. And what we have in this bike is basically a classically styled adventure bike. You guys who have been watching my videos on this subject, and of course many others for years, will know that I have a lot of gripes in this arena. Why would Yamaha offer us something so just achingly lame off-road as the SCR 950 Bolt Scrambler when they could have just slapped some WR250 suspension on the thing and gave us something that was actually cool? Why is BMW sullying the GS name by slapping it on the BMW R19 Urban GS instead of applying the same tech that makes the GS 800 such an amazing motorcycle? Honestly, in my opinion, the true descendants of the Scrambler from the 60s and 70s are today's modern dual sports. Bikes like the DRZ 400 and the Husky 701 are so much more deserving of the title Scrambler than anything else that we're being offered these days. And adventure bikes are an offshoot of that, and while I really don't want to take my Multistrada off-road, some of the smaller ADV bikes from Triumph and KTM are pretty damn capable in the dirt. So why did it take this long for actual off-road capability to filtered down to the modern classic genre of motorcycles. Well, even though Triumph is technically the hero of this story, they're also to blame. The new Triumph Bonneville is the motorcycle that triggered this modern classic revolution that we're experiencing right now. Don't get me wrong, it's a great bike. But when Triumph went all Lee Iacocca with it, that's where our trouble really began. They dressed up the Bonneville in sporty attire and called it the Thruxton, a cafe racer that really didn't deserve to have racer mentioned in the same sentence as it. And of course, they threw high pipes on that very same Bonneville and called it the Scrambler, even though no other effort was made to make it off-road capable. But people bought them anyway, because despite their shortcomings, they were still amazing motorcycles, and more importantly, they looked like amazing motorcycles. And all the other companies followed suit. They built really cool looking, classically styled bikes that could not deliver on what their namesake promised. Now, man, why waste money on actual R&D when people are just gonna buy it anyway? And eventually people did start getting wise and they started asking for more. Triumph hit back by giving us the Thruxton R, a classically styled cafe racer that actually hauls ass and handles well. And now they have a Scrambler that's following suit. I could rattle off all the facts and figures and stats of this motorcycle, but chances are if you're watching this video, you probably already know. The important parts to know is that the 2019 Scrambler 1200 is coming with long travel suspension front and rear, a redesigned swing arm specifically designed for off-road work, 19-inch front tire, it's gonna have spokes, they're gonna be made to go off-road, and of course, the requisite high pipes. Basically, when I look at the spec sheet of the Triumph Scrambler 1200, I see something that's pretty much on par with Triumph's own Tiger 800, a bike that has long since been considered one of the most dirt-worthy middleweight ADV bikes. Now don't get me twisted, a dirt-worthy ADV bike is most assuredly not a dirt bike. Hell, I wouldn't even rank a dirt-worthy ADV bike on the same level as a DRZ 400. But I really don't think Triumph is going to be selling this bike as a dirt bike or even as a dual sport. When I look at the Scrambler 1200, I see an adventure bike. I see a bike that's built to compete with the GS and KTM's 1190R. I see an adventure bike. I see a bike that's made for somebody who wants the versatility of an ADV bike, but doesn't want to be riding something that looks like it came out of Voltron. Triumph's calling this one the real deal, man, and I'm gonna agree with them. I think that this bike is going to be a total game changer. It's gonna send all the other companies back to the drawing board to build a Scrambler that can actually compete with it. A Scrambler that can actually do what its namesake says it can do. Because right now, to be totally honest with you, the 2019 Scrambler 1200 is pretty much in a class of its own. So yes, I'm very excited for this motorcycle, but I'm also just as excited for all the other motorcycles that this bike will bring around. Can you imagine Yamaha coming out with like a classically styled WR700 built off the FZ07 platform? How about a vintage styled KLX 400 using the new Ninja motor? Or maybe even Honda will get up off its ass and put the Africa Twins engine in a bike that doesn't look like a robot in disguise. Honestly though, the bike I'm hoping for the most out of all of this is another bike from Triumph themselves, and I hope that Triumph gives us an actual lightweight off-road bike. The 900cc engine in Triumph Street Twin, and also in the very unfortunately named Street Scrambler, is just begging to be put into a lightweight bike with real off-road capability. A bike like that could really rip off-road if they did it right. I'm gonna try to get my ass on one of these motorcycles as soon as I can because I'm genuinely curious. Normally I don't give a damn about test riding new bikes, but I'm gonna make an exception for this one. And whether the new Scrambler actually lives up to its name or not, only time will tell. I'd love to know what you think about this bike. Do you think it's gonna be just another pretender, or do you think it's gonna be the real deal like Triumph claims it is? Do you think it's gonna shake up the motorcycle industry and affect as large a change as the Bonneville did when it came out, or do you think it's just gonna be a flash in the pan? Please, I'd love to know what you think, so leave me a comment down below. And I've got it on good authority that sometimes the manufacturers do watch these videos and read the comments, so fire away. And if you enjoyed this video, leave a like on it for me and subscribe. It really helps out a lot. And if you're some kind of sick masochist who hated this video and for some reason you're still watching me flap my fat mouth, then go ahead and stroke that rage boner just a little harder. Old Shadetree ain't judging you, so have at it. Till next time, y'all, keep it weird.